Hello again. Welcome to another episode of Brenda's Musings. So today I want to talk about keeping it real and try to keep up because I have done 3 takes on this and I just keep going down different pathways because it's such a huge topic. And I should probably narrow it down, but quite frankly, I'm just too tired. So you're going to get what you're going to get here today. And the whole premise of today's musing came up because a friend of mine posted on a post that I posted today on Facebook. And I don't know what it was that I had reposted. It was something that I thought was funny at the time. And she said, it's easy for you to say, you got the energy of an energizer bunny or something along that line. And I cracked right up. Like I literally laughed out loud because I read that on a day when I didn't get out of bed until 12:15 in the afternoon. And I thought, oh yeah, Energizer bunny whose batteries have died. And today I've had 3 naps and I don't nap. Like I so rarely nap. Anyway, I just thought it was funny. And I thought about, like social media has come a long way. But there was a period in time, and it's not fully there yet, but there was a period in time when, particularly platforms like Instagram were known for putting up this beautiful look at people's lives. It was all nicely curated. The pictures had a beautiful kind of a theme running through them. The tones, the filters, like all that kind of stuff all worked together. Now it's much more of a mishmash, right? And it became quite evident that people were viewing our lives through our own filter. Now, let's face it, if you're posting once a day, you're going to get a very, very narrow view of what's going on in that person's life. And if you're posting 20,000 times a day, you're going to get a much more, not necessarily a realistic view, but a much more diverse view of what's going on in their lives. If they're posting about every meal they're having, or like, okay, I've done that, right? So, but you get a different view of that person's life, and I really believe in keeping it real. I believe that everybody has all these emotions that happen throughout the day. Sometimes you're just tired, right? And you just want to lie down and have a nap. And sometimes you're able to, and sometimes you're not. And, sometimes you're pissed off, right? And sometimes you're pissed off and you don't even know why. You're just pissed off. Like it's just the way you feel. And sometimes you're hurt, and sometimes you're happy, and sometimes, you're thankful, and sometimes you're energized, and sometimes you're not. And that's the way life is, and that's the way the life is for every individual. And that's the reality of it. That's what helps us bond to one another. It's like, oh, you go through this too? I thought you were always, like this. Very few people in the world, like I would say there's probably a handful of people in the world who don't experience all these emotions and portray them. Like when I'm pissed off, you know it. Like when I am hurt, you know it. When I am happy, you know it. Like it's just, there's just, that's just the way of the world. And in my humble opinion, and I've talked about this before, it just takes so much more energy. Energy I'm not willing to dedicate to this false persona. But some people do that. Some people need that because they're so afraid to let people in to see who they really are. They're so afraid to be judged. Their life experiences have led them to the conclusions that they hold tightly to. No right or wrong. It's just the way it is, right? And so somebody could be like just literally dying inside, but be projecting that they are that their life is like a bed of roses and they're not stepping on any thorns. Not my life. Probably not your life. And, realistically not their life either. All of this to say that, as you go through your day and you meet people in person and you interact with people online, remember that their life is complicated. It's messy. There's so much stuff going on. And that's just what we're conscious of. That doesn't even talk about what's in our subconscious. And just know that, they bleed like you do. They feel like you do. Not necessarily at that moment, but, throughout their day at some point in time. There are going to be all these commonalities. And that's what binds us. That's what brings us together. That's what helps us to keep our lives real. And yeah, that's my musing for the day. Have a great one, everyone.